Here's what Trump had to say. I have seen the horrific video of a beautiful young Ukrainian refugee who came to America to escape the vicious war in Ukraine and was innocently riding the metro in Charlotte, North Carolina, where she was brutally ambushed by a mentally deranged lunatic. The perpetrator was a well-known career criminal who had been previously arrested and released on cashless bail in January, a total of 14 times. What the hell was he doing riding the train and walking the streets? Criminals like this need to be locked up. The blood of this innocent woman can literally be seen dripping from the killer's knife. And now her blood is in the hands of Democrats who refuse to put bad people in jail, including former disgraced governor and wannabe Senator Roy Cooper. North Carolina and every state needs law and order, and only Republicans will deliver it. Additionally, where is the outrage from the mainstream media on this horrible tragedy? Vote for Michael Whatley for United States Senate. He won't let this happen again. This guy was arrested 14 times. It's absolutely insane. And I'll just say, these well-to-do liberals, they debate me on the issue. They argue with me on X. Don't live in these areas, don't see the crime, have not had friends of theirs killed or in gangs or dying from drugs. And then when I say, actually, I think it's good Trump wants to send in federal law enforcement, they say, but that's fascism. So it's not. It's literally not. But I'm supposed to live under the boot of gangbangers because they don't like Trump. Spare me.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I think the biggest part of the story, at least as far as I'm concerned, is how slow the mainstream news was to catch on. And then their initial reaction was, oh, Republicans pounce. Like, this kind of story, like, this type of story is something that the media covers all the time. And everyone knows why they didn't want to cover this, because it makes the argument that the conservatives have been making about crime and stuff, that makes it more pressing. It makes people more aware of it. And so they didn't want to get into it because it's a total loser for them. Their whole narrative is basically destroyed by this. So I don't know what the solution is. I don't know that having the National Guard is going to do anything about this. Like the guy, there was no warning or anything like that. Even like Daniel Penny, he wouldn't have been able to do anything, or him being on the same, train wouldn't have fixed anything, because the guy just out of nowhere stabbed the girl. If you see the video,
I'm so sick. Sorry, I'm so sick of seeing people who've been incarcerated so many times performing these brutal acts. It's like every violent crime we've seen lately. It's like he was on our radar. We've had him in the system, and it's just a consequence of how defunct the justice system is, how defunct policing is right now.
To your point about the justice system, one of the things that my first initial reaction was, hey, I know that we can't do this now, but we should in the future make it so that way judges that allow people like this to go free, there's repercussions. If you as a judge say, okay, we're going to lower your bail, or we're going to let you go off in, for a short, you're only going to have to do a short amount of time, or whatever reason, that some kind of, all right, look, this is on you if it goes bad. Some kind of, something, whether it be like my gut reaction was, the judge should be brought up on manslaughter charges, which obviously is not going to happen now because it's not legal now. Right. But there should be changes to the law so that way there is negative repercussions for a judge if they say, well, we're just going to let this person go, because right now there's no reason not to.
Here's the big debate for everybody. The killer is on camera. Everyone's seen the video of him murdering this young woman. Capital punishment, yay or nay?
I don't agree with it.
With that death penalty?
I hate the death penalty. I don't think the government can be trusted with anything. I want him locked up forever and rotting. I don't trust capital punishment. And
I actually want the death penalty, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
And this is the challenge. I think emotionally and logically, we are all sitting here saying, clearly, this career criminal who had been arrested numerous times for violent offenses against individuals and then murdered someone is not going to be rehabilitated. He is clearly mentally broken, and he is going to kill again if released. And I think he had actually just been released previously, shortly before this, and then he did. And so my gut reaction is, okay, we've seen enough. What do we do? However, my concern is, of course, creating a system by which the government has the authorities to kill people now.
Do you want it? Do you want capital punishment as a deterrence for crime or justice? Like, how do you see it?
It prevents more crime.
Do you think it does? I don't think it does.
Yeah.
I don't think it does.
It prevents them from repeat offending. It prevents the individual that committed the crime.
Yes.
Dead people don't kill more.
Well, I am for the death penalty I think there should be higher evidentiary standards. I think that it's maybe applied too much. The real problem, though, is as AI gets better, I don't trust video increasingly.
Exactly.
In this case, is that the video? I'm sure it is. But this is systematic of a social justice narrative by the left to just not enforce the law at large. And so what they're doing is they have been basically substantiating the ability for the Trump administration to come in and under various authorities. In fact, we wrote about this with the authorities that the president would have to do this 3 years ago, anticipating just this type of moment. What happened in the last Trump administration is during the BLM riots, I think the president wanted to act. He wanted to secure these communities. And I don't know, but I think he was given bad legal advice. And so part of what we wanted to do is make the argument going into this administration that if the left tries to redo that, that the president actually can. I think his lawyers this time are advising him much better and advising him that he does have the authority to go in and secure these cities in certain circumstances under certain conditions. And sending ICE to Chicago, for instance, if we start seeing violence against ICE, will be the predicate then by which the president can send National Guard in to protect ICE and to help them enforce the law.
Yeah. Well, and we'd be remiss to not point out, Will Cain was discussing it on Fox News earlier, is the reason this story specifically is animating so many people, why people are so fired up, is because of the races of the individuals that were involved. Is you had a black man and a white woman, and people are pointing out the massive discrepancy in crime where they're saying, well, black men specifically are committing a very disproportionate amount of violent crime. And people are really, this is starting a conversation that I think the left has not wanted to have for years.
Oh, yeah. It's wild. I've been talking about the pendulum swing on Instagram, where it's not even the question of the facts of the matter, but on X 7 years ago, if you posted FBI crime stats, insta-ban.
Mm-hmm.
Just literally the FBI says a thing happened, you're like, oh, hey, look at this. They got you. You're banned.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Not anymore. I made this post a moment ago from Grok and ChatGPT. And let's break it down. This is just the stats on interracial crime, black on white versus white on black, to which I asked ChatGPT about this. It responded. In 2022, there were 543,480 black on white violent incidents, compared to 96,550 white on black incidents, according to the Bureau of Justice Statistics National Crime Victimization Survey. Table 14. This represents a 462.8% increase in black on white incidents versus white on black. When adjusted for population, a black individual was about 26 times more likely to attack a white individual than the reverse, based on the 2022 U.S. Census population data estimates. It then provided me with a summary list of sources. Now, this is just an image. Someone asked Grok, are these stats accurate? To which Grok responded, yes. The stats match the Bureau of Justice Stats NCVS 2022 report, estimating, again, 543,480 black on white versus 96,550 white on black, 462.8% higher raw count, and 26 times population-adjusted likelihood align with the data. These are survey-based estimates with some limitations like victim perceived race. The point is, nothing that I am saying is intended to slight someone based on their race. I am simply showing the data right now. And the reason why I did this, there's two big reasons why I looked this up. I was curious, and I think it's important that people understand what is happening right now in culturally as to why this story about Irina Zarutska is going so massively viral. Now, they're trying to delete it on Wikipedia. They're saying it's not news. The corporate press is saying it's racist and it's not news. And these people are insane. And because of their lies and manipulations, you're actually breeding racism. It's actually making, you are not getting legitimate journalism. You are not breaking down what is going on with crime in this country. And it is just resulting in people saying you can't trust the press and going to other sources where you're going to get data that's less than accurate or otherwise. Banning people doesn't solve the problem. It never did. And now people are asking questions about why doesn't anyone care? And you know what? I think people, I don't know, even Nick Fuentes has a video going viral that Instagram is promoting to millions and millions of people where he outright says he's not saying individual black people are, doing bad things or whatever, but he's pointing out these stats. And then when you get the media covering it up, you get this question of, you get the cultural question of why is the media lying about it? What is their angle on this? And what are the actual causes that we're not getting able to discuss because you'll get banned or censored? Now, I was saying the pendulum has swung the other way. We can actually talk about these crime stats. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, you're going to judge an individual based on the color of their skin. In fact, quite the opposite. But there's a reason why this story has gone viral, and it's because people are tired of being lied to about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you just have to ask people that grow up in Chicago or Memphis or these, like, we've noticed these sorts of things happening, but you're supposed to just ignore your lying eyes, and the media refuses to report on it. I mean, I don't know. It makes whatever implications there are, it makes you suspicious of like why there's such a all-out blitz.
It's an agenda. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.